Some of the wealthiest people in the world were average students, some even dropping out of school. Yet many of us still believe that building wealth requires exceptional intelligence or a genius-level IQ. Contrary to this widespread misconception, the path to financial success requires much more than a good brain. In today's video, we'll take a look at some tried and trusted methods the wealthiest people have used in the past, and we'll find out what makes these methods work so well for everyone who tries them out, even the dumb ones. Stay tuned. We don't want you to miss the important concepts. Number 1. Debunking the intelligence myth. If you're so smart, why aren't you rich? Tell this to the wrong person and you might get yourself a punch in the face. Some of the most successful people I know are honestly not that smart. If you've ever watched Mr. Bean, you'll know how hilarious Rowan Atkinson can be once he's in front of a camera. Can you guess the 69-year-old's net worth? It is a booming $150 million. And believe me when I tell you that there are people who are younger and have more than that to their name. It's clear that you don't have to be the best at algebra to make good money in the long run. But I know you might still have doubts. So let's break it down. For starters, I need to make it clear that smart people definitely have an advantage. I mean, a research was conducted some time ago and the conclusions were very interesting. If you place two people in a room, one with an IQ of 130 and the other with an IQ of 80, there's a high chance that the one with the higher IQ earns about $22,000 more per year than the other guy. One would think that this would make a difference, right? But it turns out that at the end of the year, the two of them have almost the same amounts left in their bank accounts. Why does this happen? Well, it's thanks to Parkinson's second law, which states that by default, our expenses will always rise to meet our income. It's normal to assume that smart people would have the good sense to save and invest that extra $20,000. But the reality is that they are also human and can also make bad choices. Unfortunately, there are some smart people who don't even get to see that extra $20,000 and are doing way worse than their dumb counterparts. It's ironic, isn't it? Imagine having an IQ of 160 and still working at a gas station. Number 2. The power of financial literacy. Now that we understand how things play out, it's easy to see that the playing field doesn't necessarily favor people who are book smart, even though many of them earn more. In our example at the start of this video, what was the one thing that was common to two individuals who had different IQs? They both had poor financial skills. Because any reasonable person should know that living below your means is the only way to survive. You can't keep on spending 100% of your salary every month and expect to have savings for the rainy day. But now you would say, tell us, how can we fix this? It's a simple and easy formula. You must have more money in your bank account at the end of a month. You can either earn more or spend less. Preferably the two, but I know you don't want to hear that. Do you? To make more money, you need to understand the basics of wealth generation. The moment you create something that people want, you have created wealth. If you aren't a professional, you can earn more by learning some digital skills or rendering services to people. Of course, this has to fit into your daily routine, so be careful with this if you already have a job. To save more, you can decide to put in the work by creating a custom-made, well-detailed spreadsheet that might take you hours, or you can simply download a budgeting app. We already know what the smart ones are going to do. A high IQ might give you a slight edge over others, but it doesn't take a genius to figure these things out. Number 3. The best formula to build wealth. Working at 3 jobs in one day is not the best way to make that life-changing money you're looking for. Besides, you might break down if you don't take care of yourself at some point. However, I have a better solution, and it won't require you to lift a finger at all. When rich men think, they think long-term. Just because you haven't hit your financial goals yet doesn't mean you have to think any differently. You don't want a situation where you have to beg friends and family members for funds if you possibly find yourself in a hitch 5 years from now. So how can you do this? It's straightforward. Leverage compound interest. Let me explain. Compound interest has a major role in long-term financial growth. With consistent little contributions, compound interest has the potential to grow them into significant wealth over time. Compound interest is essentially the interest on the original principal plus all of the interest that has accrued throughout the periods before that. Compound interest rises faster than simple interest because interest is generated on both the principal and the accumulated interest, as opposed to simple interest, which is only computed on the main amount. For instance, if you invest $1,000 at a 5% annual interest rate, after the first year you will get $50 in interest. You will get interest in the second year on the $1,000 principal as well as the $50 interest from the previous year, for a total of $52.50 in interest that year. This cycle keeps on, with the interest growing annually based on the sum from the year before. It's remarkable, isn't it? To think that this is what a lot of average people do once they've made a decent amount of money. Warren Buffett has accumulated over $136 billion at 93. He started investing at the age of 10. Warren Buffett said that, "My life has been a product of compound interest." Number 4. Be dumb enough to take risks. Remember our video on why dumb people earn more than smart people? If you do, then you should know that one of the reasons why the top 1% is filled with people who aren't so smart is that they are ready to take the bigger risks. The smart guy never puts his hand into the fire, hoping to find gold because he has already thought of the worst-case scenario. I wouldn't advise betting your entire life savings on a cryptocurrency that might end up failing terribly, or an unpredictable stock market. But you have to take some action. Only give what you can afford to lose. This way, if things go south, you'll be able to pick yourself back up and start again. And that's a wrap. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and share it with friends who might benefit from these insights. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update on practical tips for financial success. See you in the next video.